Hello and welcome. It's Francis here. Thank you for coming back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I bid thee welcome. There is a subscribe button below if you would like to help support this channel by subscribing, and also a bell to be notified as to when I upload more content. I'm coming to you from Ghana country, and as such I acknowledge the Ghana people of the Adelaide Plains as being the traditional custodians of this land. So this video is going to be about our upcoming full moon, which will be taking place on Wednesday, the 23rd of May. I think that's pretty standard around the world. Here in Adelaide, South Australia, it will be occurring at 11:23 p.m. So that's Australian Central Standard Time. So there are plenty of websites available where you can work out the time zone as to when the full moon is occurring in your neck of the woods. And the astrological sense, it will be 2 degrees 55 minutes of Sagittarius. So you might want to round that up to 3 degrees. But before I talk about the full moon, I just want to mention Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be very prominent in this later half of May. It's known as the Great Benefic. It's considered a very positive planet. However, it is also a planet of expansion. So if there is a problem or an issue in your chart, in your life, where Jupiter is transiting through, it will actually expand that problem or issue. So, and I'm going to be saying this quite a bit throughout this video. If you've got a copy of your natal birth chart, again, there's lots of free places on the internet where you can obtain this if you know your date, place, time of birth, or see an astrologer and they can do one up for you. And get your chart and look at what house. Late Taurus, because Jupiter's in Taurus at the moment, and early Gemini, because Jupiter will be transiting into Gemini. What houses these two planets are in your natal or birth chart, and this will give you a little bit of an idea as to what Jupiter is going to expand. Also last month, around the 21st of April here, 20th if you're in America and other places in the world, we had an important conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus. And this has actually started a new 14-year cycle, Jupiter expanding Uranus's sense of freedom, of rebellion, of change, again, of breaking down old, outdated patterns to allow new ideas coming through. I'll list the video that I've done about this conjunction below. But as we are in the beginnings of this new cycle, these energetics will actually be influencing this new moon. And another thing that I didn't mention in that video was the increase of geomagnetic energy. And it's quite interesting, especially in the last week or so, there has been a greater influx of solar flares, geomagnetic energies from the sun at the moment. It's affecting our planet, coming into our planet, which of course affects us, even if we're not consciously aware of it. Again, something to consider. So, as always, when there is a full moon, we have the moon and the sun directly opposite each other. As I said, the moon is 2 degrees 55 minutes of Sagittarius, which means that the sun is 2 degrees 55 minutes of Gemini. And as such, the sun is highlighting something that you may not be aware of, bringing something into your conscious awareness. So look at your chart, see what house 2 degrees 55 minutes or 3 degrees Sagittarius is in, whether you have any planets or points, angles, midheaven, etc. there, because this could actually be activated during this full moon, and also when Jupiter and Uranus move into Gemini, they could be actually still re-triggering that, because Gemini is where the sun is. I did mention that Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is also the ruler of Sagittarius. So this means that Sagittarius is also about expansion. It's about optimism. It's about forward focus, visionaries. It's also connected with the law and finding the truth. When I talk about or mention the truth in this context, I'm talking about divine law, divine truth, cosmic truth, what the ancient Egyptians would term as maya. This is not human perception of truth. So what could be coming through or being revealed still may change or shift you, because it is something that you may not have seen before, been aware of before, accepted before, due to belief systems. But this is what Jupiter and Sagittarius is all about. It's about seeing the bigger picture. And as I did mention with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, that was about shattering outdated belief systems and patterns, things that no longer are of value to us. And when we throw Sagittarius into the mix, again, this sort of enhances this shattering effect as truth, divine truth, not humanized sort of perceptive truth, comes to light, especially under the gaze or the spotlight of this full moon. So a question: how are your belief systems holding up? If they are on shaky ground, that's fine. Breathe, because this moon is going to help bring in other perceptions, new awakenings, new awareness to help you rebuild and reshape new belief systems that are more in alignment with the changes that we're going through. And this is because Sagittarius is in the early degrees. It said it's 2 degrees 55 minutes. And this affects the moon. So this full moon is having sort of a dreamlike energetics to it. There's a vision that could be arising as to how or what you will want to occur in your life. You may find yourself seeking or wanting to find meaning in your life. Things are sort of falling away, no longer have any purpose. And things that you're wanting to maybe look more into the future. This could be because you're seeing things, as I said, from a different angle that maybe you have not seen before, due to the rise in conscious awareness. And what's more importantly, there could also be an element of joy attached to this optimism coming through. These are all things connected with Sagittarius. And just this sort of a finite on joy, it could be making you feel a little bit uncomfortable if good things are happening to you, while all around you we're going through, well, a lot of people going through energy crisis. There's the cost of living crisis. There's not enough housing. Food is going up through the roof. Cost of utilities, etc. Also, the wars that are happening globally, very repressive, but a lot of repressive, heavy energy. So when we have something good happen to us, this may make us feel uncomfortable. We may not want to share it or experience or allow those sensations of joy to flow through. However, Pam Gregory mentioned this in her video. Joy has a frequency that can actually raise the collective energies or the collective frequencies. And when we experience joy, when we allow ourselves to experience and honor the good things and positive things that are happening in our life, this can have a flow-on effect on a more collective level. And if more people are feeling joy, then the heavier depressive energies begin to dissipate, because it's almost like, again, the shift in consciousness, this divine truth is coming through. And a lot of the heavier energies that we are experiencing are actually connected with a more controlling, oppressive energy coming down, which cannot compete with rising consciousness. It's sounding a little bit too woo-woo, a bit too left field. That's fine. Just breathe, take in whatever resonates with you. So with the Sun in Gemini and the Moon in Sagittarius, this axis between the two is known as the axis of knowledge, of learning, of forming opinions, giving you an understanding in the world, shaping belief systems, even ideologies, seeing things from a different or a new perspective. So I'm beginning to repeat myself. But these are all cause. Both Sagittarius and Gemini are mutable signs that like options, that like diversity, do not like to be sort of like boxed in. They like the free flow. With that in mind, being a mutable sign and a mutable fire sign, Sagittarius can also be easily influenced by what is around it. So if you're wanting more inspiration in your life, to feel more confident, more hopeful, encouraging sort of like better dreams about the future, etc., you may need to start looking at taking in, absorbing higher caliber information, ideas, even the encounters that you have with people. This could stem from what you watch on television, what you scroll through on your phone, to people that you hang out with. If their energies, if their frequency is lower, is more suppressive, depressive, you may need to look to absorb the higher, the more joyful, the more confident, the more supportive energy in order to help move you through into the future. Being a fire sign too, Sagittarius is very visual. It's about visual learning. So again, look at what you're watching. Look at how you are absorbing your information. Gemini is about information gathering, about knowledge, to see those sources. Now, in preparing this video, I did sort of look at some other astrologers, in particular, Kelly Astrology, who made a mention that this full moon could actually be seen as a forerunner to bigger, larger cosmic transits that will be happening later this year and early next year. And all of this relates back to this axis, this Gemini Sagittarius axis that we are on. So again, look at your natal birth chart. What planets, what points do you have around 2 degrees 55 minutes or 3 degrees Sagittarius or Gemini? Because you may start getting some insight, some revelation with respect to these two houses as to the future goal-driven. Also bear in mind that when the moon is full, it changes us emotionally. It activates us. So if 2 degrees, 55 minutes of Sagittarius is important to you, then the next month, especially when Jupiter moves into Gemini, it'll be actually opposing this full moon point, thereby reactivating things, resulting in bigger stimulation, realizations coming through. So this is a little bit of a pre-warning. Also, Uranus moves into Gemini, I think July next year, 2025. So this point, 2 degrees 55 minutes, is going to be activated again, shining back on Sagittarius, because this full moon is all about starting to dream. Starting to dream about those big changes or wild adventures that you would like in your life, the sort of ideas where you're asking yourself logically, am I able to dream such big things? It's almost like this is a premonition as to what could very well be on the cards coming through towards the end of the year and into next year. So allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to think big, start asking those questions. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to see myself? And over the rest of this year, you could very well open yourself up to opportunities that will help guide you towards these bigger ideas, these bigger goals, especially if you pay a little bit more attention to, as I said, the information that you are absorbing, the sources that are coming into your life. There are a couple of other transits that are directly affecting this full moon that you may want to consider. We have Pluto sextiling the moon, therefore trining the sun at 2 degrees of Aquarius. Pluto is in retrograde. And because it is named after the Roman god of the underworld, this could mean that it is asking you to access information that sort of in your periphery, looking at what information you're taking in, how you're actually using this information, this knowledge, these opinions, looking at the stories that are circulating in order to sort of digest and create a new belief system, especially if the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is making your current belief system appear to be on shaky ground. You could be actually going through some kind of deeper personal transformation, awareness, awakening, whatever word resonates with you. And coming back to this Jupiter theme, because I did say there is a huge influence with this moon, with Jupiter, there's also a conjunction between Venus and Jupiter at 29 degrees of Taurus, so right at the end of Taurus. Taurus is the solid earth sign. So again, look to see where this field falls in your natal or birth chart, as it could actually bring up some success, abundance in this particular area of your life. Venus, though often associated with love and romance, is also connected with our values. Taurus is also connected, it's ruling Taurus. It is about something successful, something powerful, creative energy, and bringing that into the physical realm, which is Taurus. It's also asking us to look at or consider tangible resources and opportunities that could be appearing in our lives. So the energetics of this full moon in Sagittarius are basically asking or encouraging us to open up, to start dreaming big about the future, to put our ideas out there, all those wild ideas, in order to see where they may take us and what could actually evolve over the next 6 months or so. It's also asking us to seriously consider the sources of our information, of what or who influences us, and how beneficial these sources actually are in shaping us for the longer term. How beneficial are they for our future goal? Finally, this full moon is reminding us that it is okay to feel joy, to feel happiness in a world where so many people are struggling, are hurting, where global events are so repressive. And as I mentioned, Pam Gregory said that joy reminds us that it's a higher vibrational energy that lifts us up, raises our frequency. And as we are all energetically connected, with our threads woven together, when we as individuals focus on these higher energies, there is a flow-on effect that does actually create positive change. Again, you may want to engage in some sort of meditation practice to create space where you can return to that place of inner peace, connectedness, and joy. And as I mentioned in my previous video, there are numerous styles and techniques of meditation out there. One don't all have to sit like a Zen Buddhist monk. There's simply observing the breath, breathing in and out, becoming more consciously aware, being a little bit more mindful, present in our daily lives, as opposed to going through on autopilot. Or we could go into yogic or Zen practices. So if you are in Adelaide, just a few things I would like to mention. I am actually going to be doing a full moon gathering this Thursday down at Largs Bay. So we will be meeting in the northern, which is the bigger car park next to the sailing club. The other car park, they're sort of doing some renovations due to the expanding some facilities down there. So we'll be meeting around about 7:15 p.m. to head down to the foreshore about 7:30 p.m. Just a gold coin or loose change donation. It goes to charity. So if you would like to attend, just pop along to Largs Bay this Thursday, the 23rd. And I think it's the 23rd. I've sort of forgotten. It is the 23rd. And be there by 7:15. Also, if you're in Adelaide, Monday nights meditations will be resuming from the 17th of June at the Mystical Soul Academy, which is located in Parafield Gardens. And I will put the link below if you are interested in learning more about those events. So I do hope that this video has been of interest to you. Please check out the links to the astrologers that I have used in order to prepare this video, because they are the experts in my channel. If you have any comments, put them below. I do read them. And if you have not already done so, please help subscribe to my channel, and lunar blessings.